Hello viewers. If you have completed MRCS and you want to emigrate to the United Kingdom, you might have to prove to the authorities in the United Kingdom that you are proficient in the use of the English language. One of the effective ways of doing this is appearing in an exam called Occupational English Test. It is an English language proficiency test designed specifically for healthcare occupations. In my previous video, I had talked about how to prepare for OET reading part A. Today we will talk about how to prepare for OET reading part B and part C. OET has 4 parts or 4 subtests: listening, reading, writing and speaking. Today we will talk about reading part B and C, and in next week's video I will talk about listening. So I hope you will like this video. So the easy way to prepare for occupational English test is by going to the official website of occupational English test. It has sample tests for each subtest: listening, reading, writing and speaking. So today we are going to practice reading part B and C. So let's pick a sample test. OET can be taken on paper, it can also be taken on computer. OET is for several healthcare professions like dentistry, dietetics, medicine, etc. etc. For listening and reading, the test is common. For writing and speaking, they are different for different healthcare occupations. So we'll jump right to a sample test. We'll go to sample test 5 for today. Question paper part B and C. So reading part B and C together is of 45 minutes duration. 45 minutes for reading part B and C. Reading part A was of 15 minutes duration, so the entire reading subtest is 60 minutes duration. So briefly read the instructions. On the day of the exam, you will not have time to read the instructions. So it is very important that you practice as many sample tests before as possible. There are no negative markings. All you need to do in reading part B is find the correct option. There will be 3 options. You have to find the correct option, read the question, then read the extract and then go to the options. So the sequence should be: first read the question, then ignore the options, go to the extract, read the extract and then go back to the options. So let me demonstrate this. According to the notice, the course is only available to nurses who. So which nurses can avail of this course? Let's read the notice. Emergency nurse practitioner minor injury course. So this course is available to which nurses? We are pleased to announce that the hospital's ENP service will be running a minor injury course. The aim of the course is to prepare experienced registered nurses working within emergency, primary care and walk-in environments to provide a high level of autonomous care for patients presenting with minor trauma. So it is designed for experienced registered nurses working within emergency, primary care and walk-in environments. Okay. The ENP minor injury course structure has recently been changed. There will no longer be an additional clinical placement, and course applicants will therefore be required to complete all their clinical competencies in their own clinical setting with a designated mentor, with whom we will correspond in advance of the course. Therefore, only applications from registered nurses working in a nursing role on a permanent basis in a relevant area such as the emergency department or minor injuries unit within their organization can be considered, and their place will need to be funded by their organization rather than self-funded. So lots of criteria. Main thing is registered nurses working in emergency department. Let's see. Option A does not look right. Option B also does not look right because clearly mentioned that it will be funded by the organization, not self-funded. So option C is automatically the correct answer because I have ruled out the other 2 options. Are already employed in a related field. That is the correct option, option C. So let's go to the answer key and see if I'm right. So question 1, option C. Where is the answer key? This will be the answer key, I think. And I am right. Question 1, option C, are already employed in a related field. Let's go to reading part C now. Yes. So this is how you approach questions in reading part B. There are 6 questions in reading part B, and reading part C will have 16 questions. So 7 to 22, 16 questions. There are 2 texts. Each text will have 8 questions following it, and the text is slightly long. Please don't make the mistake of reading the text first. Go directly to the question. What is the writer's reaction to Professor Winston's strategy? Now you might wonder, if you have read the question first, you'll have to read the entire extract to find the section talking about Professor Winston's strategy. So might as well read the text first. That is completely wrong approach, because usually the questions are in chronological order. So the first question will talk about something in the first paragraph. So you can just go and read the first paragraph. You are most likely to find the answer. What is the writer's reaction to Professor Winston's strategy? Let's read the first paragraph. We want to know the writer's reaction to Professor Winston's strategy. The esteemed clinician scientist, Professor Robert Winston, sparked debate recently. He avoids hiring graduates who have achieved high first-class degrees to work in his laboratories, he said, because experience has taught him that they are less likely to be well-rounded and good team players. Okay, so somebody who has good scores will not be a good team player. Many hard-working and gifted students may feel aggrieved by his approach, but it is refreshing to see public acknowledgement that recruitment strategies must assess more than just academic ability. A similar debate has also resurfaced about medical school admissions, with senior clinicians and medical educators reiterating the need for a holistic application system to identify the most promising future doctors. Now, I'm a bit triggered by this because this kind of alludes to how long it takes to get the first NHS job. But my personal feelings aside, let's focus on the question. So I think I read the word refreshing. It is refreshing to see. So the writer's reaction most likely is he is happy about it. Let's look at the options. He approves of the idea behind it. Seems correct to me. He is surprised by the theory. I did not read about any surprise. He worries about the implications it may have. There was no mention of that. He is disappointed by the narrowness of its focus. Again, not mentioned. So he approves of the idea behind it. Now you can argue that the first paragraph may not have the answer. You may have to read the entire text, but that is not how OET questions are framed. OET questions are framed in a very simple way. I am sure the first paragraph itself would be good enough for me to find the answer, and based on the first paragraph alone, I think the answer is option A. Question 7, option A. Let's go to the answer key. And yes, question 7 has answer A. So this is how you approach reading part B and C. Read the question. Okay, first read the question, then ignore the options and then read the text. Then you go back to the options and confirm your answer. Same for reading part B, same for reading part C. Question first, ignore the options, then text, then go back to the options. If you read the options first, you might get confused. Okay, and if you read the text first, for example, in reading part C, it's just a long text that you'll end up forgetting the moment you read it. Okay, so better to approach it in this way. Question first, then text, then options. I hope you like this approach. If you have any questions, please feel free to mention it in the comment section below. In next week's video, I'll talk about how to prepare for listening subtest of OET. Take care. Bye.